TWM podcast.
Hello and welcome to TWM Talks. I am Matty Deller, coming at you with another pay-per-view review, and this time we're looking at the final stop on the road to WrestleMania. It's Elimination Chamber 2020, and joining me as we run the rule over last night, counting it down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've realised doing lights on a podcast doesn't really work, but who's opening the door? Oh look, he's yelling because the door isn't open, but actually the door next to him has been open the entire time. He's done an Asker. His name is Joe.
Yes, Sam.
How are you feeling, Joe?
Very, very tired.
Well, hopefully this pay-per-view will perk you up. Well, at least the first half will. Well, we're going to have a little chat about that. But before we get into the meat of the matter, let's run through those gimmicks that we call the bill payers. Let's start off with a bit of We Love Sport. They're a fantastic app. Find your nearest sports bar showcasing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips. You can book front row seats, giving you the best view of the action. Check it all out. Apple and Google Play Store, We Love Sport app, We Love Sport UK, and check out welovesport.co. Also, WrestleCrate.
Oh, like, I've got this, Matthew. Go check out WrestleCrate. Use the code TWM Wrestling for a free autographed item in your first, in your second, and in your third crate. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, almost like we're the Jackson 5. That is WrestleCrate. Code TWM Wrestling at WrestleCrate.co.uk.
It's almost as if you've been doing this for a number of months now, Joe. Anyway, yeah, if you want to catch any of us, you've got all the usual places: Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, TuneIn, Podbean, YouTube. If you got us on YouTube, please subscribe, smash that like button, turn on notifications. That would be very much appreciated. But enough jibber jabber from us. Let's get into some more jibber jabber as we talk about Elimination Chamber. So, starting off with the pre-show, did you watch it?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, so did I. Nothing happened. They had a match on it, and even then, nothing happened.
Yeah, like, were you really expecting Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins to beat the Viking Raiders?
No. Do you want full disclosure on how little faith I had in Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins?
Go on, then.
I was doing the results, and the second they announced that match, I wrote down 4 hours before on it, the Viking Raiders defeated Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins via pinfall. So confident in the knowledge that I could hit that save draft button on our website, and I wouldn't have to change it later on.
Like, we don't even need to cover the match that much anymore.
No, I don't. It was if you've watched a Viking Raiders match on Raw in the last 6 months that haven't involved the OC, you've seen that Viking Raiders match. So we're just gonna roll on to the opening contest because everyone bloody loved this, and it was what we wanted. So it was an absolute delight. It was Daniel Bryan going over Drew Gulak, and it was a strong style, hard hitting opener that you love to see.
And of course the streak continues, people losing in their hometown.
Yes indeed. Yeah, these two, like, I didn't know whether we were going to get, like, I don't know, Daniel Bryan just running through Drew Gulak and he'd be like, lol, silly Drew Gulak, da-da-da. But they gave it time. Drew Gulak looked incredibly strong. And
yes, he did.
And they battered the crap out of each other. Please stop dropping Daniel Bryan on his head.
That possibly might have been his fault. I feel like he was meant to flip out of it, and he under-rotated.
Yeah, that we'll talk about the German. There's other bits as well. For example, the little short pile driver they did out of the move.
Come on, that's adequate protection. Drew Gulak is not a man with small thighs.
That was fun. Or then when he said that, all I could think of then was Big E just saying "big meat men slapping me." Anytime anyone mentions someone's large body appendages that aren't the rude ones, I just think of Big E now.
No, I was thinking of that it was the most fire line of 2020 before Stormzy went in on Wiley's mum. But there was a rapper who said, and like I said before, I'm with your wife in the kitchen pounding thighs.
Bars.
I'll send you the entire song. It's incredible.
But yeah, you like Daniel Bryan. They mentioned I think the flip out of the German, and he under rotated and landed right on his neck and shoulder. But even before that, I don't know whether it was good selling or he did get a little bit of a twinge in his neck when Gulak hit the side suplex. and I knew you heard was the scream and then him trying to get feeling back in his arm. And I think everyone took a sharp intake of breath and was like, oh no, what's happened here? But they had a really competitive match. A lot of one of those spots that I don't like. Know that suplex spot where they both fall to the outside?
That's not a good spot.
I don't like that spot. They did it with Cody and MJF. It makes me. There's so much margin for error there. I'm just not a huge fan of it.
Oh wow!
Great submission wrestling. You had Gulak out wrestling Bryan for the majority of it, but then eventually kind of rolls through they do the reverse superplex into the Gulak, but Bryan rolls through and does a very sick high angle yes lock, like proper torquing the shoulder and wrenching the neck at a disgusting angle, and Gulak passes out. I was scrolling through WWE's YouTube earlier on today. I've not watched the video, but there's an exclusive interview with Daniel Bryan, and all I saw with the title was Daniel Bryan wants to learn from Drew Gulak. So maybe they're going to face Miz and Morrison at Mania. Maybe they're going to do Bryan and Gulak against Miz and Morrison.
That would make sense with the Miz going backwards. Like, if they're going all in on this Fiend thing, in terms of the Miz going backwards, he would go into a feud with Daniel Bryan, wouldn't he?
Actually, we're going to go straight on to the Chamber. I will say, hard recommend. Go and watch Gulak versus Bryan. Let's go on to the tag team. Was that the second match? The tag team chamber? Was there a match before?
I guess.
Oh, there was the Carrillo versus Andrade, wasn't there? So we got for the United States title, Humberto Carrillo going up against Andrade retaining the gold.
I haven't heard your opinion on Humberto Carrillo since.
Well, you know what you need to do, Joe. You need to go onto twitch.tv/TWM Wrestle and listen to our little prediction stream last night, where I turned around and actively said that I am now a fan of Carrillo.
Oh, you're a full-blown fan.
They have given him a what's the exact term? They gave him some fire. So I'm
not sure I am yet.
I think it's working personally. So, but we'll get into that at another time. But they gave him some fire. This had a reason to build. However, does Carrillo losing again to Andrade?
No, because they did it quite dirty on purpose. Tights, handful, blah blah blah. I would have preferred Zelina getting involved again, and I really don't know what match they're building to at Mania. I feel like the obvious thing would be the Latinx Ghetto fatal 4-way. Maybe a fatal 5-way if you throw Punishment Martinez in there. But
they're not just going to whack another Latino guy in there to make it a 5-way match.
Like, all of these luchas need a base, Matthew.
2 words, my friend. Cain Velasquez.
Oh wait, no!
Life. Even better, 2 words: Dominic Mysterio.
Honestly, I thought Dominic Mysterio Dominic Mysterio has had his spot taken by Humberto, and I feel bad for him.
He's gonna come back and he's gonna do they're gonna do an Eddie Guerrero storyline, but like the inverted version, where they're both fighting to be Rey Mysterio's son. So Dominic and Humberto Carrillo.
No, but I just mean that his spot in this story, I feel like it should be Dominic.
Yeah, I imagine this probably was meant to be Dominic, but they he's not.
Dominic is not ready yet.
He's not fully booked. He's not fully cooked yet, so to speak, or fully booked. This was a great match for Carrillo and Andrade. It's just these two having their really good contest. But you had they went for the concrete on the outside spot again. They kind of teased that a little bit, and then they did a lot of. It was a shock win. I was shocked that it finished with the roll up. I was sitting there going, a lot of roll ups here, and then he caught him and got the tight. So they've got a valid reason to go back to this down the line.
I also do like the fact that a lot of these matches do just descend into constant roll ups. And no, because isn't it a callback? Like Eddie Guerrero in big matches just used to go for them.
Yeah, I think majority of his fair few of his biggest wins would be either losing or winning via Raw. I mean, his biggest one, WrestleMania 20 against Kurt Angle, was that inside cradle where he takes the boot off and used it to slip out of the ankle lock and stuff. So it was really, really good. We then got a promo from AJ Styles, and we don't normally talk about the promos, but this might have been Redneck Kalisto. Did you clock this at all?
I actually skipped past it, so I just heard the end of it, him just going, said something really dumb and then walked off.
Yeah, he went, they talked about the promo, and he went, if anyone's going to get disqualified, it's going to be me. And then he kind of just goes...
If anyone's going to... Yeah, then he realised this is a no DQ match and then walks off.
Yeah, he goes, I didn't mean that. I don't know. And then just walks off. It was...
Oh my god.
Oh, it was Kalisto 2, but without the damn it, woo, at the end. It was tremendous, I'm not gonna lie.
The reason why I love that Kalisto promo is because it is still very charismatic. It is just bad public speaking.
Yeah, but this one was AJ cutting a standard AJ Styles promo, then getting completely lost and going, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna walk away from away from my problems. Let's go to the tag team chamber match. First of all, I'd only noticed this, it made me a little bit sad that no matter how much character progression The Miz has currently, no matter what he does, he seems to always end up exactly back in the same place he was before. This time last year, where was he? SmackDown Tag Team Champions, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But this one... I think for my money, it's I know they've had 3. This was by far the best tag team elimination chamber they've done.
Even the spot with the luchador hanging off well, I've only seen one other one, really.
Well, the women, they had the women's one last.
The women's one last year was really good.
Yeah, and then they had
so I have seen all 3 tag team ones then.
Yeah, this was the best.
First tag team one was...
That was the one with the New Day, and where the New Day were allowed all 3.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kalisto ended up hanging from the top of the cage forever.
Yeah,
and that's my enduring memory of that one.
And Lindsay Dorado this year went, hold my cerveza, and managed to top that. Was this the best chamber ever? I feel like it's up there. It's definitely in my top 5 chambers now. That was it was really good.
Remember, every chamber for me is better than last, because remember what my first chamber is.
Your first chamber, we're talking about this on the Twitch stream last night. If you're not watching, the VOD is available at twitch.tv/TWM Wrestle. We were talking about the Intercontinental title chamber where everything fell apart, and it's the most Joe-friendly match I've ever seen. Because it's just, it all falls apart. It involves Dolph Ziggler and Mark Henry. It's all things to all people.
A friend of ours, friend of the podcast, Liam Stewart, shout out to Liam Stewart, posted, what kind of match... No, I think he tweeted something. What kind of match is... No, actually, he asked it. What kind of match epitomizes the kind of wrestling that you like? And I found it really difficult to answer, because I love really good comedy wrestling. Yeah. I also love really good tag team wrestling with lots of history behind it. I also love botchy spot fests.
Yeah. So it's just... I was going to say, this chamber kind of ticked a lot of boxes for you then. Yeah, because you had Lindsay Dorado nearly dying, or did he have his leg broken?
Yeah.
You had the Lucha House Party pulling off some insane... everyone's been talking about the shooting star press, which was... I don't know how that was physically possible for him to swing with that much momentum to be able to tuck his legs under and fully flip over.
Basically, he pulled off. He released mid pull up.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That makes sense.
But then I think a lot of people are sleeping on how amazing the Rana off the pod onto the top rope was, because that was a running Hurricane Rana from one level to another to the ring.
That Grand Metalik.
That was Metalik hitting that, yeah.
Truly showing why he was a finalist of the Cruiserweight Classic. No one brings that up.
I would gladly watch a match between Metalik and Morrison, because I feel like they would have an absolute banger of a proper flippy high-flying match. And there was great storytelling in that match as well, because you had the heavy machinery. Once again, we proved, if you listen to Smack Talk on Saturday, we discussed how they managed to get over heavy machinery in under an hour by literally the crowd were going nuts, and the crowd in Philly were going nuts for heavy machinery, particularly Otis. And I feel like Tucker got his moment in the sun when Otis went out. He turned towards them and his face just changed. Oh, that was brilliant.
That's it. That's his moment. Unless they reveal he's the one who sent the text message,
Like they had obviously Otis kept trying to nearly get to Ziggler, and he couldn't get to him, and then finally he got him on his own, went headstrong, and ended up going not only through the first. I'm not sure whether that was meant to happen. I'm hoping that it was a planned spot, because otherwise Otis is a lot stronger than he thinks he is. That he not only went through one bit, he went through the second bit of Lexan glass, and nearly killed the Spanish announce team.
That's just part of the course in an Elimination Chamber match, right?
Yeah, but the thing is though, like, imagine being killed by bulletproof glass. That would be the most ironic thing on the planet. I would imagine bulletproof glass would be a lot less wobbly, you know? Yeah, it's almost as if it's cling film. I wouldn't be shocked if it was cling film at one point.
Not cling film, it's plastic. Something else.
It's the stuff
it's fantastic.
It's the stuff they literally make the toy elimination chambers out of. They just got it on a bigger scale. And it was really well played. They did the whole Ziggler and Rude, like, by overwhelming Tucker and eliminating them, and then Ziggler being a cocky so-and-so and waving them goodbye, and then playing off the fact that even the other teams, the other face teams, don't like Ziggler and Rude for what they did to Otis, so they just immediately got rid of them quite quickly. And then we had the
Usos in the New Day.
Yeah.
Usos in the New Day. Temporary alliance out of respect.
And then we had Miz and Morrison pick up the scraps from both teams. I did love the spot where they went back and forth. Eventually Miz locks in the figure four, and he drags over, I think it was Jay, over into the corner so that they could hit Starship Pain while he's in the figure four. That was a brilliant spot. Love that. Such a clever move.
Spot I liked was the Usos going for the dual splash, and Miz getting the knees up, but Morrison not. So they're both pinning. So Miz has got the knees up, counted into a pin, and the other Usos has just gone for a straight splash, and they're staring at each other in the eyes as the referee counts one.
Because I watched that and legitimately was like, oh, are they going to do like some sort of draw, and Miz and Morris, I bought that as a finish. I thought that was going to be like the end of the
great finish.
Yeah, I wanted at the end of the match they'd be like, oh, what do we do? And then eventually they settle it with a ladder match or something at Mania.
Ladder match.
But yeah, no, I'm massive fan of this. The show started off so well. The first 3 matches, we discounted the pre-show, was just chef's kiss. Just was really enjoying it, and we go.
I really enjoyed the next match. If the next match is what I think it is.
Yeah, it's the no DQ match between.
Yes, I really enjoyed.
A lot of people called this boring, and I was like, it wasn't boring. It was just they started a really weird way for a no DQ match, and I see the point of everyone getting upset because he had AJ Styles out with the OC, and his promo early said the OC was going to be out there with him for moral support. It did make no sense that the OC would stand there and not do anything during a no DQ match. So it would have made sense for him to be like, I will leave the OC behind because it's a no DQ match, and then have them come out. It just seems silly to have them stand there for 15 minutes and not attack Aleister Black.
Well, my thing is, in sense though, even as a heel, he's just I could beat him, but just in case I can't beat him, guys, you're my corner guys, and remember, it's no DQ, but you guys just stay in my corner.
I also just like Aleister Black in no DQ matches because he's so good a difference, but I loved my favourite spot in that entire, because they both work each other's legs and doing different bits to each other's legs. My favourite spot, they were on the announce table about to do the superplex, and then Aleister Black kicks out AJ's knees and he goes face first into the announce table. Love that. He'd be like a new Steve Blackman if there was a hardcore title knocking about, just using all these things as deadly weapons. Loved it. It was a really, really cool match, and then they all eventually start beating down AJ and the OC start beating down Aleister Black. Looks like he's going to win.
Magic Killer.
Yep, Magic Killer, and then gong. Undertaker's got the OC goozled. He then chokeslams AJ Styles. Luckily, lights go out, he disappears, and it's not an immediate pin. He brings him up, and he black masses the bejeez. AJ has a stiff black mass.
Yeah, AJ sold the black mass harder than a chokeslam.
Yeah, which was tremendous. So Black,
whoever's back there, take her back.
it didn't make him look weak at all. Like, even with the interference, it did not make Aleister Black look weak whatsoever. So I enjoyed it. However, I do see the argument of they probably could have just done the last 5 minutes and had it as a segment rather than having the 15 minutes before in a no DQ match.
Like,
it seems a bit redundant to me.
To be honest, they probably could have done it last week when AJ pinned him like the Undertaker. 1, 2, gong.
Yeah, I did like the bit where I thought he should have hit the like they should have had him hit the tombstone on Aleister Black, and then the lights and then the gong goes out, which would have been great. Yeah. Or even have the OC come in, attack him, have AJ hit the tombstone, and then the gong hits. So there's still the interference in there, so it's still kind of balancing. It's not Undertaker attacking AJ when he's done nothing wrong. But it was fine. It was fine. I can see people's complaint to that overall.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
TWM podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shakara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
Then it's kind of just the last 3 matches,
I like the Street Profits match. I did,
but it's the same match they've had. It was just the same match. We've seen it on Raw. This would have been fine if they didn't have the match on Raw.
yeah.
Like, do the title change on the pay-per-view. Have something else. Have the AOP. Like, have the Street Profits overcome the odds against the AOP to earn a shot against Murphy, and have the Now or Never match be against the AOP. And if they win, they get a title shot at Chamber. Then you have them win the belts at Chamber.
Oh, but I can see why they're protecting the AOP quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what for, but they are protecting them quite a lot. Like, I can see why, but I'm not sure what their end game is with them.
I honestly expected the Street Profits to lose. I expected Seth to come out, cut a promo, and say, "You're facing a tag team from my disciples, but you don't know which one," and they just get jumped.
Yeah, but then that would have been a massive bait and switch, and it would have peed a lot of people off. But I'm sorry. Wrestling Twitter is angry. Yeah,
never seen that.
It never happened. So yeah, like it was fine. The Street Profits are very, very good. The all 4 men in this match are really, really great. We spoke in depth on the Twitch stream about how I'm lukewarm on the Seth Rollins character, but it has done wonders for Murphy. So I'm really happy that Murphy's getting the chance to shine here in this team.
The Seth Rollins character still needs to do one more thing, which is absolutely despicable.
Which is what?
I don't know what, but he needs one absolutely heinous.
Because he mentioned the thing like he wants to crucify Kevin Owens, and all I could think of was, when the Undertaker used to strap people to a symbol.
Yeah.
Ideally, he could strap him to a symbol of the SR, but now I've watched the FCW documentary. If he could strap him to a giant picture of Seth Rollins with that motorcycle, that would be.
Oh my goodness! Have you not seen? three of the Shield, the FCW photo shoots, all three of the Shield guys.
Yeah.
Like the best image from those photo shoots, and then I think someone captioned it New Age 3 count. It was amazing.
Nice, love it. I'm a big fan of them being the New Age 3 count. Shirley mentioned there was a rumor online, and I'm really hoping that it is true, but I doubt it is, that someone said they're going to have a crucifixion match at WrestleMania.
Oh my god!
Imagine how many people would be offended by that. Good lord! Yeah,
it's fine because Mania is going to be an empty arena. Mania.
Oh, it's fine. It can't be offended. They can't offend anyone in that case. Yeah, Street Profits win. It was a pretty decent match, but again, if they didn't have a match on Raw, it would have mattered. So
I enjoyed the interference because Kevin Owens does have a point. He did come out to distract Seth Rollins. Well, he did come out. Seth Rollins did get angry, and he did warn him what was coming.
Oh, I did like that bit, yeah, because Owens comes down the ramp, comes out the crowd rather, with popcorn, and then just sits there watching the match, and then Rollins just gets angry in his face, so he just throws popcorn in his face. And King is like, "Oh, he threw salt in his eyes." And I'm like, yes, he did, but it was in popped corn form. Then we get to the Intercontinental title match, and I was very surprised.
I'm so happy.
I'm delighted.
This was the obvious way this was gonna go, because Sami Zayn has been talking like a single star this entire feud.
So, do you think this ends with all four of them facing each other at WrestleMania then?
Yes.
There is a lot of multi-person matches that are going to happen. Actually, to be fair, there's like 7 singles matches already announced, so the rest probably will be multi-person matches. So Zayn won the Intercontinental title alongside Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura against Braun Strowman. It was pretty good. It was okay. It was an okay match, but the crowd was kind of just a bit drained from that Street Profits tag. Like they had 3 very good matches in a row, and then it kind of 4 pretty good matches in a row. They kind of died a death at this point. It didn't help.
Like we kind of glossed over something. Street Profits are over.
Massively.
Capital O. So them having the same match in a different location on pay-per-view, I'm not too fussed about.
What I'm worried about, though, is they keep the second week in a row, they've both tripped over each other's lines when they're doing their promo.
It'll come, man. It'll come.
Yeah, it's just I'm hoping that it's not getting... Like, it's there's no like issue there. They need to iron out some little kinks that have appeared. But yeah, back to the Intercontinental title match. I generally thought we were going to get Strowman just not running through them, but getting his hand on Zayn and picking up the win. But I did like it. It made perfect sense.
That's a mania moment. Now it's been pointed out this close to Mania, that is a Mania moment.
What, Strowman regaining the belt by...
Strowman, Zayn, face to face. Don't know where the other 2 are. Crowd going mental. Nowhere to run.
Yeah. So, like... And it made, like, the way they did it was really, really well done, because Strowman goes into the ring post, gets hit with a Kinshasa, then gets thrown into the ring post, then Nakamura hits a Kinshasa into the ring post, which is really nice. And then they do that suplex haluva kick triple team, and then Zayn...
No, as soon as I realised, I was like, Zayn's the legal man. Oh, yeah. No. I wonder what's going to happen.
Well, they did that when it was like Cesaro tagged in Nakamura, and then Zayn's like, tag me, so they've got all of them in. And I was like, oh...
Adam.
Zayn's won the belt. Okay, it's like great for Sami Zayn. I'm delighted he's going to go into WrestleMania as the Intercontinental Champion. But just a bit of a... It generally did surprise me. I was like, oh, crap. Okay, fair enough. I'm on board with this, but it does look like they're heading towards maybe the fatal 4-way. Whatever it may be, going forward. Right. We've kind of... powered through a lot of this because there wasn't really a lot to discuss. It was some pretty solid matches. The chamber match and the opening match was very, very good. We're now coming up to the main event, the Elimination Chamber, the Women's Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
A lot of people didn't like this.
It's not hard to book it, but then again, I'm not in wrestling at all. Could discount my opinion.
Don't say that. Don't do that on a review. Discount my opinion. My opinion means nothing.
No, in terms of the way I'd book it. Don't discount my opinion when I tell you something is racist in wrestling. That's generally what my job was around here for a very long time.
It still is.
Well, no, we have more melanin now. It's fine.
Yeah. But you're still the head. You're the head racist BS caller outer. That's your official TWM title at this point.
In which case, let's talk about NXT UK. Anyway,
I don't want this podcast to be 2.5 hours long. Another time, my friend.
Well, the really funny thing is, just before I watched this, because I watched all of Elimination Chamber, left the main event to watch, I was pondering, I've never seen an Elimination Chamber where someone has been so dominant that they've actually destroyed everyone before the next pod opens, so they just have time to walk around and taunt.
Yeah, I had one issue with that. And like
I get it's really boring to watch on pay-per-view, but like it was like as soon as that thought crossed my mind, I was like, oh my goodness, it'd be really cool to see it. And I got to see it literally 10 minutes later. That's crazy.
It got heat on Shayna Baszler. Everyone was booing Shayna, so they weren't booing the fact that it was boring, they were booing Baszler because she just had rendered the match obsolete. But we'll get to that bit in a minute. First of all, the match overall, it was a pretty good chamber. There was some pretty good ones. Like Natalya took a whacking in this match. She got the shotgun knees where she went back of her head first into like the beam of a chamber. Took a Sarah Logan crossbody where Sarah Logan's knees whacked her square in the face from a tremendous height. And then Shayna Baszler come in and destroyed everyone. Like literally 2K19, not 2K20 because it would glitch. 2K19 strategy of playing your friends in a chamber in finisher, or playing the computer in finisher, submission, eliminated, in finisher, submission, eliminated.
Yeah.
And she's put over in that one match. She's put over a sequence that leads to the Karafuda clutch that now we can be aware of. The pancake, the knee into the clutch. Looks great.
It looks incredible. She used 3 moves really all match.
Yeah.
Unless you count her like yeeting people
into the cat. Like, I did love the Natalya bit where she kept slamming the door onto, and Natalya took a beating in this match.
God bless Liv Morgan for taking whatever spot that was. Jeez.
Yeah, it was. There was some. Baszler dominated this, but then my thing, and I this was my issue with this match, and it does knock down a couple of points, is they fudge the times all the time in the Rumble and other things. The fact that they did have the nerve to like wait out the full 5 minutes for each person to come out was just, I thought, was a bit silly. You could have cut that in half and no one would have noticed.
No one would have noticed, but maybe they wanted the full extent of heat for Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, but I feel like you're just giving enough rope for people to hang themselves with that. Like it's.
But did she hang herself?
No, she showed that she's a legit threat, and it worked. I loved it because, but then again, also I see the argument of everyone saying this comes so close after what they did with Lesnar in the Rumble, where Lesnar dominated. But then again, Lesnar dominated and was unsuccessful. This is different. Baszler dominated and was successful.
So did Shayna.
Yeah, but she was successful. That was the point. Like,
no, I'm saying so did Shayna in the Rumble, and she was unsuccessful.
Oh yeah,
this was her.
Yeah, really good point. That is a really good point.
This was her with a much smaller field, and like she's not about tossing people over the top rope. She's about submissions. Yeah. Tap, nap, or snap. That's what she's about.
Or as Pat McAfee put it one time, tap, snap, or crap. I think he said once.
Well, like Asuka on 364 days of the year could probably give Shayna Baszler a much better showing that she gave her. But Asuka came up with a taped up wrist.
That I did like that. I imagine they taped up the non-injured wrist so she could work on it. But it did give Asuka an out, because most people were like, well, no, Asuka and Baszler. But then like, no, she has an injured wrist, and Shayna loves going for the arm, so she just beat the piss out of her arm. They went back and forth with submission holds and great strikes. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I thoroughly enjoyed the entire show. I think a lot of people, like, again, reading Twitter is not the best thing to do after a pay-per-view. I've seen people say like it's the worst Elimination Chamber they've ever seen. I'm like,
allow it.
How?
No, I'm sorry. Ziggler Bad News Barrett, Mark Henry, Ryback. I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple of people, but man, that chamber was dire, and that was my first ever chamber. I don't like Elimination Chamber matches because of that chamber.
Yeah, but at least chambers don't have the glass breaking.
Also, there's the chamber where Braun Strowman did exactly what Shayna Baszler did, but got speared by Roman Reigns at the end. People have really short memories.
They really, really, really do. Yeah, kind of. I feel like we've kind of blasted straight through that entire pay-per-view, but don't get it twisted. This was actually a really fun watch. It was really fun watch. It was
like, they say that the best WWE pay-per-views are the ones with no build, and I buy it.
We did say, like, sometimes this could be an pay-per-views like this could be an absolute sleeper, and I think for the matches in there, go in there. We're going to give our overall opinions in a minute, but there are like a few matches, just go and scope them out. You can skip a lot of the other stuff, but there's some matches in there that you should scope out, either for story or for in-ring content. Anyway, Joe, give us your overall grade and your thoughts on the pay-per-view.
This was a solid B pay-per-view. And that's my grade. It's a solid B. Maybe a B plus.
I'm going to give it a B, all around B. Like, Drew Gulak and Daniel Bryan is on my list of like favourite matches of the year at the moment. Like, I don't know if it's going to make the top 10, but it's definitely one of my favourite matches so far. Ditto the tag chamber. Loved the tag chamber. Loads of great spots. Kept me enthralled the whole match. There was storytelling in the chamber, which is very rare when they've got 12 men in a chamber. Like, it's like normally it's just spot. There's some really cool spots in there. The Lucha House Party were the MVPs of that. In ring, Lucha House Party MVPs. Storytelling, Heavy Machinery showed why they're the most over team in the company. It does baffle me what their end game is now with. Are they going to?
They're not the most over team in the company. Oh, the most over team in the company is in Raw.
On SmackDown, then. Okay, so they're one of the two most over teams in the company. They're giving me intrigue. I don't know where they're going to fit. Is it going to be another multi-team match at Mania where they end up winning, where they win the SmackDown Tag Belts? Or are they just going to have a separate match between Otis and Dolph with or something like that? I don't know what they're doing. It's very, very interesting. However, Black and AJ was okay, but they probably could have just done it as a segment rather than a 15-minute match. Like, it was fine. It was a good no DQ match, but there's plot holes in there you can easily poke through. The 3-on-1 handicap match was what it was. It was a shocking result for me. Carrillo Andrade was Carrillo Andrade, and that Raw Tag Team title match would have been better if they hadn't had the same ball. It had pretty much the same match on Raw a few weeks ago, so it just does fall firmly in that B category for me anyway. If you want another person's opinion, you can go check out Victoria Tazagi's review of Elimination Chamber, available at twm.news right now. You can also check out Shaylene's article on FCW, fresh off the FCW documentary, which is a hard recommend from me. I watched it today as I was doing some work. I had it on in the background, and it is a fantastic watch, so please go check that out. That is my doc of the week, so please go check that out, and then read the article from Shaylene as well. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at TWM Wrestle. Subscribe to us on Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, YouTube, TuneIn. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe, smash that like button, and turn on notifications so you do not miss any podcast or piece of visual content coming your way. Also, keep an eye on TWM.news. Actually, by the time this comes out, that news would have been the news would have broken. If you're a fan of Progress, head over to twm.news. There's some news in regarding Super Strong Style 16 that will be very much worth a read if you've not seen it already on social medias by the time you've heard this. Speaking of social medias, Joe, what is yours or another person's you would like to broadcast?
At Shirley Shells.
We didn't mention this, did we? Shells beat George, I think 6-5 in the predictions, and based off me wanting to book the biggest money match for Mania, it's going to be Shirley versus Joe at Mania.
Is it because I have the most reigns and the longest reign, huh? I'm the most decorated champion that you have.
Yeah, pretty much. But basically, you're no, because that would make Shirley Goldberg. I'm trying to think of how this would work. We're bringing you in for the nostalgia pop, brother. You're Goldberg.
I'm Goldberg. Goldberg.
You are gold. You are Joe.
I was just gonna say she's the unstoppable force, and I'm the immovable object. I suppose
it's gonna be great. I can't wait to get the we're gonna get. I'm gonna get Rich to make a My Way package for you and Shirley. Leading up to Mania. We Love Sport. Go check them out on the App Store. Check them out and sort out your WrestleMania viewing party. We've sorted ours out in London and in Wales, so please go check them out. WeLoveSport.co. WrestleCrate, TWM Wrestling. Get up to 3 free items. Use the code TWM Wrestling at WrestleCrate.co.uk. I think that's everything. I'm a Matty ID. We are at TWM Wrestle. Thank you very, very much for listening. And me and Joe will be on different podcasts at some point this week where everyone's all over the place. So we'll hear our voices again very, very soon.
Bye.